The Galactic Council had seen many strange things across the stars. They had witnessed empires rise and fall, and they had judged entire worlds guilty of crimes beyond imagination. But what happened with Earth was different. No one expected a single human message to shake the galaxy so deeply that the Council would declare Earth a forbidden zone. It began with silence. For centuries, Earth had been ignored. Other species passed by its star, watching from a distance, never speaking, never landing. Earth was not yet ready for contact, or so the Council believed. Humans were still young, still loud, still fighting. With each other. But then one human, an ordinary one, not a leader, not a soldier, not a scientist, sent out a message no one knew how it reached so far. The transmission was simple, almost careless, drifting into the dark. And yet, somehow, it crossed the void and entered channels that only advanced civilizations used. It was not supposed to be heard, but it was. The Council gathered in their great chamber. Thousands of alien eyes fixed on the projection of Earth, glowing blue and white against the black. They replayed the message again and again. First, many thought it was a mistake, or a trick, or even a threat. But the words were clear. The message began calmly, almost softly. To whoever is out there, I know you are watching. We know. Maybe you think we are small. Maybe you think we are weak. But you should understand something about us. We do not stay weak for long. The chamber grew restless. Some delegates hissed in disapproval. Others shifted uncomfortably in their seats. To them, humans were primitive, a species still crawling out of its cradle. Yet this message was not begging. It was not fearful. It carried something else, something dangerous. The voice continued, steady and sharp. We fight each other. Yes. We argue. Yes. We make mistakes. But we learn fast, faster than you expect. And when we are pushed, when we are cornered, when someone tries to break us, we do not fall. We rise. Always. The words cut through the chamber like a blade. Many alien races lived long lives, moving slowly, planning carefully. But humans burned like fire. Short-lived, reckless, but relentless. The message carried that truth in every word. The delegate from the Keller Collective slammed his clawed hand against the table. This is a threat, he growled. If we allow them to rise, they will spread like fire. They must be contained. Others nodded, whispering to each other in low, uneasy tones. The Council had seen new species before, but this one was different. Most young civilizations feared the galaxy. Most begged for help, for guidance, for mercy. Humans did not. Humans sent a warning, and then came the part of the message that froze the entire chamber into silence. The human voice, calm but heavy, said, "Do not mistake our kindness for weakness. If you come in peace, you will find friends. But if you come with chains, then you will learn why Earth was never conquered. You will learn why even we fear ourselves." The recording ended. Silence hung in the chamber. No one moved. No one spoke. It was as if the galaxy itself was holding its breath. At last, the Council leader, an ancient being with eyes like burning stars, rose from his seat. "You have all heard," he said slowly. "You understand what this means, but they are young," one delegate protested. "They are not ready for the stars. Their world is divided. Their weapons are dangerous, but still small compared to ours. Surely this is nothing but the pride of one human." The leader shook his head. "No, that is not pride. That is truth. That is warning." The Council debated for hours. Some wanted to erase Earth's signal, to pretend it had never been heard. Some wanted to destroy Earth before it grew stronger. But others older, wiser knew that to strike first would be a mistake. Humanity's words carried weight, not because of their weapons, but because of their will. And so, after long arguments and fearful silence, the Council made a choice. A choice no one expected. They declared Earth a no-contact zone. No ship was to approach. No trade was to be offered. No interference of any kind. Earth would stand alone, not as punishment, but as protection. Yet deep inside the chamber, where whispers carried secrets, some admitted the truth. The galaxy feared humanity. They feared what humans might become if pushed too far. On Earth, people had no idea. Yet the human who sent the message lived his life in quiet, never knowing that across the stars entire civilizations spoke his name with dread. But the council knew. They all knew. And they wondered in the silence of their hearts if they had acted too late. Because humans had already spoken, and the galaxy had listened. For many cycles, the council kept their decision hidden. Official records only said that Earth was unstable, unfit for contact. But the truth was different. Behind closed doors, they spoke in fear. They spoke of the voice. Still, the galaxy is wide, and secrets never stay buried. The ban on Earth drew attention. Smugglers whispered of it. Explorers asked questions. Why had the council locked away a small blue world? Why declared untouchable? Some said Earth had weapons too terrible to reveal. Others claimed humans had destroyed ancient invaders. In secret wars, none of it was true. But the mystery grew. On Earth, life moved forward. The human who sent the message lived quietly, unaware. Satellites circled, nations argued, wars simmered, but no one on Earth imagined that entire civilizations had turned. Their eyes toward them and then looked away in silence. But silence never lasts. One day, far beyond Earth's skies, a council patrol ship caught a distress call. A small smuggler craft was drifting, damaged, engines failing. Normally, this was routine. But when the patrol answered, they found something unexpected. The smuggler had been near Selner Earth. The patrol demanded answers. Why were you in the Forbidden Zone? The smuggler, shaking and pale, spoke in a low voice. I wanted to see it. The world that frightens you all. I thought it was just rumors, but I was wrong. The council officers leaned closer. What? Did you see? The smuggler's eyes were wide, haunted. They'd fight each other, constantly, yet they rise again and again. No matter how many fall, the rest stand. I saw cities shining with light even after storms tore them apart. I saw people rebuilding in days what would take other species years. They do not stop. They never stop. The officers exchanged uneasy glances. The report reached the council quickly. Once again, whispers spread. If even a smuggler could feel at this strange human resilience, then perhaps the warning in the message was not just words. Meanwhile, deep in the council chamber, debate raged again. Some argued the ban was not enough. Others claimed humanity would eventually burn itself out. But one voice, calm and sharp, silenced them all. The elder delegate from the Lothri, a species older than empires, spoke slowly. Do you not see? They do not fear death as we do. To them, life is brief, so they use it like fire. That is why they are dangerous, not for what they are now, but for what they could become. The chamber grew cold with unease. Yet curiosity is a dangerous thing. Not all obeyed the ban, a young researcher from the Zalari species driven by questions no law could silence, made a choice. She would study Earth, not from orbit, not from far away, but closer, hidden, unseen. She disguised her vessel, cloaked it beyond human detection, and entered orbit around the blue planet. For weeks, she watched. She saw humans laugh, even in hardship. She saw them cry and still keep moving. She saw their endless conflict, but also their endless drive to rise again. And then, one night, she made a mistake. A human observatory picked up a faint signal. It was weak, almost nothing but enough. A group of scientists on Earth began to wonder, was someone out there? The Zalari researcher panicked. If she was discovered, the council would punish her. Worse, the humans might know too soon. She pulled away, vanishing back into the stars. But it was too late. Her presence had left a trace. Back on Earth, the scientists argued, it could be just noise, one said. Or it could be real. Something or someone was watching us. And in that moment, the words of the old message, long forgotten by most humans, seemed to come alive. We know you are watching. The council received the report of her mission. They demanded answers. She told them the truth. They are not what we thought. They are not monsters, but they are unstoppable. No matter what strikes them, they rise. They are not to be underestimated. The council fell silent again, and in the shadows of that chamber, a darker thought spread. If one human message could already make the galaxy tremble, what would happen when Earth finally looked outward? What would happen when humanity learned the truth? The council's ban on Earth was meant to create silence. No ships, no signals, no contact. But silence does not last long in a restless galaxy. Curiosity pulled at every species, and whispers about Earth spread faster than the council could control. In dark markets and hidden channels, stories grew. Some said Earth's oceans hid weapons that could burn stars. Others claimed humans were not one species, but many, all united under one mind. None of these were true, but rumors are like fire. They spread and fear grew with them, on Earth itself. Life went on as if nothing had changed. People built, argued, dreamed, and struggled. They looked at the stars with hope, never knowing the stars were already looking back with caution. But something was shifting. A small group of human scientists had found a strange signal, a faint trace, like a ghost in the sky. They argued. Late into the night, it could not be natural, one said. Repeats, but not like a star or planet. This was made. Made by who? Another whispered. They had no answer. But the signal stirred something deep inside them. Proof. Proof that someone or something was out there. Far above in the council chamber, tension grew. The Zalari researcher who had watched Earth in secret stood before the delegates again. Her voice shook, but her words were steady. I broke the ban. I saw them. And I tell you this, if they discover us too soon, they will change everything. They are not afraid of struggle. They live in it. They grow in it. You cannot measure them by our standards. Her warning was met with anger. You endanger us. All, cried the delegate from the Keller Collective. Should have erased them long ago. Every cycle we wait, they grow stronger. But the elder Lothari spoke again, his voice heavy with memory. You forget history. Many times we struck first against young species, and many times that strike created only rebellion and fire. With these humans, I fear that fire would spread farther than we imagine. The chamber fell into uneasy silence. The council feared to touch Earth, but feared even more what Earth might become. Meanwhile, in the shadows beyond council law, another danger was rising. A faction of rogue explorers, mercenaries, and outcasts heard the whispers of Earth's forbidden status. To them, that meant opportunity. If the council feared this world, then perhaps treasures or secrets waited there. And if humans were as strong as the rumors claimed, then capturing even one might bring fortune. They prepared in silence. No official banner, no council approval. It's only greed. But greed is never hidden for long. The council received fragments of reports, sightings of strange ships drifting near the Sol system. The council leader slammed his hand against the table. Fools, he hissed. If they land, if they provoke humanity, the ban will mean nothing. The words of the message will come true. Still, the council could not admit the truth, to reveal that they feared humans would shatter their control. So, they watched in silence, hoping the rogues would fail before Earth noticed. On Earth, the scientists continued their work. The strange signal appeared again, faint but real. Excitement grew. If this is contact, one whispered, it changes everything. We are not alone. But they were not the only ones watching the sky. Military satellites tracked a flicker, something. Moving, something not of Earth. They could not explain it. But they knew one thing. It was not human. That night, the lead scientist stood alone outside, staring at the stars. She felt both wonder and fear. Somewhere out there, something was listening. Somewhere out there, someone already knew about Earth. She whispered into the night sky, not knowing her words would carry far. If you are watching, we are ready to meet you. Her voice was soft, but in that moment, it echoed against the silence the council had tried so hard to keep and far away. In the chamber of the Galactic Council, the elders received new reports. Ships were moving near Earth. Humans were starting to suspect. The silence was breaking. For the first time since the message was heard, the council leader admitted the truth aloud. His voice was grave, almost fearful. The moment we feared has come. Humanity is beginning to look back at us. The sky above Earth was no longer quiet. Strange shadows moved beyond the reach of human eyes. Rogue ships, ignoring the councils. Law drifted closer and closer to the forbidden world. They came not with greetings, but with greed. These were not diplomats or explorers. They were scavengers, hunters of secrets. To them, Earth was not dangerous. It was a prize. The council feared this planet, then surely something of great value was hidden there. But greed blinds. And when they approached Earth, they did not find silence. They found resistance. It began when one of the rogue ships slipped too low, too close to orbit. Earth's satellites caught the trace. Alarms lit across hidden rooms in human military. Command. Unknown object detected, the voice repeated. Commanders studied the data in shock. The object was no rock, no space junk. It moved with purpose. Changed speed, it was. A ship. For hours, the humans debated. Could it be a new satellite? Secret technology from another nation? But deep inside, many already knew. This was not human. This was something else. On the surface, the scientists who had been tracking faint signals received the same news. Their hearts raced. Proof. At last, proof. We are not alone, one whispered, her voice trembling with both fear and joy. But the rogue explorers did not care about discovery. They wanted capture. They wanted control. One ship attempted a silent landing in a remote area, hidden by night. Its crew stepped onto Earth's soil for the first time. They expected to see fear. They expected humans to run, but humans did not run. The landing site, though remote, was not empty. Locals saw the strange craft. They saw figures stepping out. Alien, carrying weapons. At first, they froze, unable to believe what they saw. But humans have a habit. When faced with the unknown, they do not always flee. Sometimes they fight. One farmer, shaking but determined, raised his old hunting rifle. He did not understand what he faced, but he pulled the trigger. The sound cracked across the night. The aliens staggered back, wounded, not killed, but shocked. For the first time, the rogue explorers felt something they had not expected: resistance. Even with simple weapons, even with no knowledge of what they faced, the humans did not bow. They stood. The aliens retreated to their ship, furious. These creatures dare strike us, they hissed. We will show them fear. But it was already too late. News spread quickly. Governments scrambled to hide the truth, calling it a meteor crash or a military exercise. Yet witnesses knew better. They had seen it with their own eyes, strangers from the stars, and in that moment, humanity changed. The question was no longer if they were alone. The question was, who was out there, and why had they come? Far away, the Galactic Council learned of the rogue landing. Panic filled the chamber. Fools, shouted one delegate. Do you not see what this means? The humans have seen them. Humans will know. Elder Lothari's voice was grim. The silence is broken. They will not stop now. Humans will search the stars. And when they find us, they will remember the warning of their message. The council leader's eyes burned with unease. Then we must decide. Do we keep hiding? Or do we prepare for when humanity arrives at our gates?
Ow.
On Earth, the scientists pieced together fragments of truth. They connected the faint signals, the strange shadows, and the reports of a crash. The lead scientist whispered to her team, "Someone tried to come here. Someone already knows us." And though fear filled the room, so did something else's: determination. Humanity had waited too long in silence. If others were watching, then humans would watch back. If others had ships, then humans would build their own. The rogue explorers fled Earth that night, wounded and furious. They had not captured their prize. Instead, they had given humanity its first glimpse of the truth, and high above the planet. The stars no longer seemed distant. They seemed like doors. Doors waiting to be opened. For the first time, Humanity was no longer blind, and the galaxy whispered in dread because humans had finally begun to see. The first landing had failed. The rogue explorers limped back into the void, carrying wounds and anger. But their failure created something greater than they understood. On Earth, questions had begun to spread like wildfire. Governments tried to silence the witnesses. They told the public it was nothing an aircraft test, a weather balloon, a meteor. But humans are not so easily fooled. Too many had seen the strange lights, the ship, the figures that were not human. Too many stories matched. And now, the word alien was whispered again, not as fantasy, but as truth. In the Galactic Council, fear turned into fury. Delegates shouted at each other, blaming the rogues, blaming the Council's weakness. "We should have destroyed Earth before this," cried the Keller Collective. "Now it is too late," the Elder Lothori shook his head. "Too late indeed. The humans have tasted the truth. They will not stop now. Curiosity is their nature. Resistance is their instinct. Cannot erase this." But another voice rose in the chamber, cold and sharp. It was from the Varric's Dominion, a warlike race. "Then let us not erase them. Let us break them. If we strike with full force, their world will burn before they rise." The chamber went silent. Even those who feared humanity hesitated. To strike Earth now would mean war. And war with humans was unpredictable. Their history already showed that when humans are attacked, they do not surrender, they grow stronger. Still, the thought lingered in the chamber like smoke. Meanwhile on Earth, the scientists who had been chasing the strange signals uncovered something shocking. By comparing data from different satellites, they realized the truth. The object had not fallen from the sky. It had landed, and then it had left. The lead scientist felt her blood run cold. "That means," she whispered, "they can come in. Go as they wish." Her team sat in stunned silence. The truth was now undeniable. Earth had been visited. Across the planet, quiet meetings took place in hidden rooms. Leaders spoke in secret. If this is true, we are not prepared. Our weapons, our ships, our defenses, they are nothing compared to what is out there. Another leader answered firmly. "Maybe so, but we must prepare. If they return, we cannot meet them with fear. We must meet them with strength." For the first time in history, humanity's divisions seemed smaller. The thought of a greater power beyond Earth forced enemies to think like allies and high above. The rogues who had failed their mission were not done. They sent messages to the dark corners of the galaxy. Earth is not protected. The Council is afraid. This world can be taken. Its people can be captured. Their words reached ears eager for profit. More ships began to turn their course toward the small blue planet. The Council saw the movement. The leader clenched his hands. "If they come in numbers, the humans will know us all. The silence will be broken beyond repair." The Elder Lothari's voice was heavy. "It is already broken. The only question left is, who will face the humans first?" On Earth, the lead scientist stared at the night sky, her heart burning with both dread and hope. She thought of the ancient message, the one human voice that had warned the galaxy long ago. "If you come with chains," it had said, "you will learn why Earth was never conquered." She whispered to herself, almost like a promise, "If they come again, we will be ready." But readiness takes time. And time was running out, because far beyond the stars, more ships were already on the way. Not all came for peace. Not all came for war. It all came for humanity. And Earth was about to discover that the galaxy was no longer silent. The galaxy was moving toward Earth. The Council had tried to keep silence, but silence was broken. Now, every outlaw, every scavenger, every power-hungry faction saw Earth as a target. Some came with curiosity, some came with greed, some came with fear. But they came. The first fleet arrived in secret, cloaked ships sliding into Earth's orbit. They were not part of the Council, not bound by the ban. They were rogues hunters. They wanted proof that humans could be captured and sold. But what they found was not weakness. Earth was watching. Satellites tracked them. Hidden radars caught their movement. And though humans had no starships, though they had no weapons to match the galaxy, they did not sit still. Nations who once argued now whispered in secret rooms. Old enemies shared data. For the first time, humanity began to think not as countries, but as one world. Still, fear was heavy. A commander looked at the readings and spoke quietly. If they decide to attack, we cannot stop them. But another voice answered, strong and steady. Maybe not. But if they strike, we will show them who we are. And so, when the rogue fleet sent down their first landing parties, humanity was ready. Not with lasers, not with starships, but with something older, with something simple. With will, the aliens landed in a coastal region, expecting to terrify villagers. Instead, they found soldiers waiting, weapons aimed, eyes steady. The aliens laughed. These tools are primitive, one hissed, pointing at the human rifles. But the humans did not flinch. They fired. The sound tore through the air, bullets. Striking with precision, some aliens fell. Others retreated in shock. The battle was not balanced. The aliens had advanced weapons. But humans fought with something else. They fought as if every strike was survival. The rogues, who had mocked Earth, now whispered in fear. They do not fear us, one said. They fight us. Back in orbit, the rogue leader watched in anger. He expected an easy capture. Instead, his landing party struggled. He turned to his crew. Then we show them true power. Burn their city. But before he could give the order, a strange transmission struck his ship. It was human, not from soldiers, not from governments. From a simple radio tower, carrying words that spread across space, the voice said, "We know you are here. And you should know this, we are not afraid of the stars. If you strike us, you will awaken all of Earth, and when Earth awakens, we do not sleep again." The rogue crew froze. They did not understand how, but the words carried weight. They felt the same chill that the council had felt when the first message was heard long ago. The leader snarled. Empty threats. Yet inside, he was not certain. On Earth, the battles grew. Small groups of aliens clashed with humans. The aliens had power, but humans had something harder to measure. They refused to surrender. Even when wounded, even when cornered, they fought on, and slowly. Shock spread through the rogue fleet. These creatures, one whispered. They fight as if they have already lost everything, but still refuse to fall. What are they? Answer was clear. They were human. News of the failed attack reached the Galactic Council. The chamber filled with chaos. "This is the beginning," shouted one delegate. "They will know us now. They will search for us." The elder Lothari spoke softly, but his words carried through the noise. "And when they find us, what will we say? That we feared them? That we tried to chain them? Or will we admit the truth that one voice from Earth was right all along?" Chamber fell silent, because in that moment, everyone remembered the message. If you come with chains, you will learn why Earth was never conquered. And far away, above the blue planet, the rogue fleet hesitated. They had expected victory. Instead, they had found something far more dangerous. They had found humanity awake, and humanity had only just begun. The rogue fleet had come for conquest. Instead, they left in silence, wounded, broken, afraid. They had thought humans would be easy prey. Instead, they discovered the truth of the message that had once shaken the council. Earth does not surrender, but their retreat did not bring peace, brought attention. The galaxy now watched Earth not as a forgotten world, but as a fire that had started to burn. Across distant stars, whispers turned into warnings. The humans have fought back. They are dangerous. In the council chamber, the tension was heavy. If more factions attack them, said one delegate, Earth will grow faster. They will. Take our technology. They will copy it. And then they will come for us. Another slammed the table. Then strike now, for it is too late. But the elder Lothari shook his head slowly. His ancient eyes held the weight of history. Too late, he said softly. It is already too late. Every time they are struck, they rise stronger. Every wound becomes their lesson. Every loss becomes their weapon. They are already becoming what we feared. The chamber fell into uneasy silence. No one could deny it. On Earth, humanity had changed. The attacks had united them in ways wars never had. Secrets were no longer secrets. Governments shared information. Scientists worked day and night. Engineers studied every fragment left behind by the rogue ships. And what they found was astonishing. Pieces of alien metal, fragments of engines, strange circuits. To other species, such technology was ordinary. But to humans, it was treasure. It was knowledge beyond imagination. One young engineer stared at a broken shard of alien alloy. "If we can understand this," he whispered, "we can build more. We can reach the stars." The scientists agreed. Humanity had taken its first steps into a much larger world, but the question was not if they would rise. The question was how fast. The rogue survivors spread fear across the galaxy. They told stories of humans who fought with nothing but iron, and fire ants still drove them back. To many it sounded impossible, but to those who listened closely it was more than fear, it was warning. The Varric's Dominion, ever hungry for war, prepared their fleets. If humans can resist rogues, then they must be tested by soldiers. Let us strike, and let us crush them before they spread. But others hesitated. They remembered the voice, the warning, the message that had echoed through the council chamber. Like thunder, if you come with chains, you will learn why Earth was never conquered. Now, it seemed less like pride and more like prophecy. On Earth, the lead scientist who had first studied the faint signals stood before her team. Her voice was calm but firm. "They know about us. They are afraid of us. And more will come. But we will not wait forever. If they can reach us, then one day we will reach them." Her words carried across the group like fire. Hope mixed with determination, fear mixed with courage. Humanity was beginning to dream not of survival, but of reaching beyond the sky. In the council chamber, the leader stood slowly. "The humans was grim. The humans will rise," he said. "It may take years, it may take centuries, but they will rise. And when they do, the galaxy must face them. Not as prey, not as masters, but as equals." The Keller delegate hissed in fury. "Never, they will destroy us all." The elder Lithori looked at him with tired eyes. "Perhaps. Or perhaps they will save us from ourselves. You fear their strength. I fear their hunger for growth. But more than fear, I feel this. Certainty. They will come." And far away, on the quiet blue planet below, a simple truth was spreading. Humanity no longer asked, "Are we alone?" They now asked, "When will we meet them again?" The stars above no longer seemed untouchable. They seemed like a challenge, and the galaxy, for all its power, felt a chill, because humanity was no longer waiting. Humanity was preparing, and soon, prophecy of one message would be fulfilled. The galaxy had waited in silence for centuries. They had watched Earth from afar, calling it a young, chaotic world. But now, silence was impossible. The humans had seen the truth. They had fought invaders from the stars and survived, and that survival changed everything. On Earth, scientists worked day and night, pulling secrets from broken alien machines. What was once myth was now blueprint. What was once impossible became design. Humanity was learning faster than anyone thought possible. The first prototypes of engines were built in hidden labs. They were crude, unstable, dangerous. Humanity was no longer dreaming of the stars, they were building the means to reach them. The Galactic Council knew this. Reports flooded the chamber. "Their progress is too fast," one delegate warned. "Every year we wait, their power doubles. They are not bound by the limits we know," another shouted. "Then strike them now, before they leave their world." But the elder Lothri's voice silenced the chamber. "Strike them, and you will only prove their message true. You will only give them reason to rise faster. You cannot chain fire without burning yourself." The leader of the council looked across the room. His voice was heavy. Then what do we do? And no one answered, because far away, Earth was already answering for them. In secret, governments united. Rivalries turned into partnerships. Scientists who once competed now shared every discovery. Engineers who once dreamed of aircraft now dreamed of starships. Soldiers who once prepared for wars on Earth now prepared for wars among the stars, but the greatest power was not their weapons, it was their will. Every man, woman, and child knew the truth now. They were not alone. The stars were not empty, and the galaxy feared them. News of humanity spread across alien worlds like a storm. To some it was terror, to others it was hope. Entire species who lived under the shadow of empires whispered, maybe the humans will rise. Maybe they will break the chains we never could. The Varric's dominion prepared for war, their fleets gathering. But even they hesitated. For every story of Earth spoke of the same thing. A people who refused to fall. One human voice had carried across the stars long ago. A message simple, but unshakable. To whoever is out there. We do not stay weak. For long. That message had turned into prophecy. Now, the galaxy saw it coming true. The council leader called one final meeting. His voice was grave. We cannot control them. We cannot guide them. And we cannot stop them. There is only one choice left. The chamber held its breath. We declare Earth a no-contact zone. No ships may land. No trade may pass. No species may interfere. Let them rise on their own. And pray that when they reach us, they will remember mercy. The decision was sealed. Across the stars, laws were sent. Every world was warned. Stay away from Earth. But even as the order spread, every delegate knew the truth. It was not protection. It was fear. The galaxy feared humanity. On Earth, people did not know of the Council's decree. They only knew their world was changing. The first engines roared to life. The first ships touched the edge of space. Humanity was reaching farther than ever before. The lead scientist stood on a launch platform, watching as the prototype ship rose into the sky. Her heart raced, not with fear, but with certainty. We are coming, she whispered. One day we will come. Above her, the stars waited, silent, watching, afraid. The galaxy had declared Earth forbidden. But the humans did not care, because humanity had already made their choice. They would rise, they would reach. And when they finally stepped into the stars, the galaxy would remember the voice that started it all. A single human's message, and the silence that followed.